Alright, folks, welcome back to the Liberty Intelligence Organization Network. We are a news recap show, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining us again. I think this is going to be the 7th segment. It's really not the 7th segment, but it's the 7th upload we're going to have. My friend still hasn't uploaded that video. I don't know if it's because he can't, or if he hasn't done it yet, but So I don't know about that yet. I haven't talked to him since the last time I talked to him, but we'll see what comes of that. But basically, what I'm doing, this is probably gonna be the last video I do for a couple of days at least. But I wanted to get it in there because I mentioned in the last segment I had mentioned a law that was going to go into effect in 2013. That you already have heard that police are targeting people who just know the Constitution and stuff like that. And that's scary enough, but when you throw this new law that's going to come into effect in 2013, it's called the National Defense Authorization Act 2012. Once that thing goes into effect, the government basically has the right, according to that law, to detain anyone for any reason without judge, jury, or trial, completely destroying due process. And this is a further erosion of our constitutional protections. And so that's what I'm going to talk about this segment. It's going to be focused on that. So I'm going to just get right down to it and give you guys some news right here. And again, we're a news recap show, so this is old news. If you want up-to-date stuff, and this for some reason is the first video you're watching. First of all, if this is the first video you're watching, I advise you to go to our channel and go back and scroll through some of the stuff. They're little 10-minute segments, if that. Some of them are none of them really reach 10 minutes, but they're all under 10-minute little segments, and we focus on a bunch of topics, and I try to get the information out there to you, and I try to encourage you to go find some information yourself, because we live in a world, and it's good to understand what's going on in it. So I'm not going to preach about that anymore. Let's get right down into it. Basically, I got a bunch of articles here from various sources, all talking about the NDAA 2012. What makes it? Well, I've already mentioned what makes it so crazy. The ACLU is all trying to stop it, and the stuff it goes against. First of all, here, let me read this to you, people, because I encourage people to go read the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. In the last segment, and I'm going to read you guys the 4th and the 5th Amendments right here. I got them in this article I got, and it's basically talking that these are the amendments that this will break, that this is destroying literally the Constitution that makes the United States what the United States is. Without our Constitution, we're just an empty plot of land, and I don't know if people realize that. So let me get down to it. The 4th Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, and the persons or things to be seized. So the government's supposed to not only get a court order to be able to search you for anything, but they have to get a court order exactly designated for you and exactly talking about what they're going to get. And again, that's the 4th Amendment that's going to be shattered by NDAA 2012. And here's the 5th Amendment. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. And again, most of that's been destroyed by recent laws and recent grand jury findings. I remember back when I was in high school still, the grand jury found that the government could take personal property. They could take your land, your house and your land, take it from you, and then resell it to a private enterprise. So like, I don't know if people remember back in the 80s, they had all these movies where like corporations were trying to steal the farmers' land and stuff. And the people would always like get behind them. I think the Dukes of Hazzard was about this. and you know, they still had the Fifth Amendment to protect them back then. But after the grand jury passed this law, or made this ruling, they decided that it was okay for the government to just take people's land and then resell it to the company. So in all those movies, had the Fifth Amendment not existed, the government would have just said, oh, well, we're going to get more money from these guys, so we're going to buy up your land at real cheap price, force you to move off the property that you may have owned for generations in your family, and we're going to sell it to these guys so they can bulldoze it all down and build a mini-mart and a Walmart. And so that's why this stuff is dangerous, and those are the amendments that this directly affects. And again, they can seize people and just lock them away, and they'll never see a jury or anything. And they don't even have to tell people you've been taken. So basically, what do you think is going to happen to those people that they just mysteriously disappear? And if you want to look at something interesting, go look up Soviet Union purges and disappearances. And you'll read some interesting stuff. I'm not going to get into it now because I think I'm running out of time. Again, this is going to be a short segment. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. We are the Liberty Intelligence Organization Network, and our goal is to awaken mankind to the terrible tyranny that is approaching us over the horizon of history. So stay tuned. Stay safe. Stay informed. Stay active. Stay alive. Stay free. That's it. Later.